Okie dokie. So I'm trying to get on here. I think it's time. I'm still trying to figure this out, guys. I really am not trying to be like any of these other people on YouTube that are trying to figure out just like me, but I guess I am. Let me clarify. Um, this is not something I plan to take off in any great way. I'm just here for you guys. That's it. Getting on, taking the time to show what's going on in my world, which is that's pretty difficult to explain what's going on in my mind. But in the Grimm house, we are keeping ourselves busy. Um, right now, I don't know. Lucy is gardening, getting ready the spring. So we have a few things. I'd like to talk to her about some of these things. Um, maybe I can get her in here because I have nobody today. I didn't plan it out. Michael, how dare you? You were supposed to plan it out. I didn't plan it out. I just thought, well, just get on every Thursday to say hello. And if somebody's coming over, I said I was going to get somebody to come over like Jimmy Trippy or somebody. Um, that will happen. That will happen. God, I look at myself. I'm aging. I'm getting some grays going on here. I don't like to see myself. Okay. Yeah, that's not working, Mike. Anyway, oh boy, weird Mike. Weird. I get weird when I'm in front of the camera or people, especially when I don't know if you. Oh, there's Renee. Hey, Renee. Hey, she's the only one on watching me. Good. Then you're the only one seeing me be a fool right now, watching the fool. Anyway, let me see here. What should I had some things I was going to discuss. Um, talk about. Kathy Williams is there. She goes, "Hey, Michael." Okay, so I'm probably in the background for a lot of people. Thank you. Thank you. That's what I want this to be. I didn't set myself up with any coffee or anything, but um, by the way, I have my buddy here. I don't know what his name is. A buddy of mine, John Thurston, a friend of his, actually his father-in-law gave that to him. I believe it was his father-in-law. And yeah, I haven't named him yet. He's like a little grim character in my room. I love him. He scares the hell out of my dog, Sammy. She just will not come to this room because he's facing right down the hallway. And she always barks at him. Um, Anywho, let's see. Hey, baby,
You're good.
we're good. Would you mind talking for a minute? Just saying hello. Just saying hello. I know you're okay. You can get your hair done later. Hair did.
Hair
You
do.
look gorgeous. Naturally gorgeous. What happened here?
Just do.
Don't see. I don't know anything. Okay. All right. There we are.
Hi. Sorry, I'm gardening.
So. So you've been out in the garden. We were talking about elderberries. She's has a few berries that she's wanting to plant. Blueberries, two species,
Three.
three.
Yeah.
Do you call them species or are
Yes.
they breeds? What do you?
They're
I don't.
species.
I know we're talking about species. Three different species.
Yes.
Is that the way? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't.
I'm
I'm
a
not
mess,
in the
guys.
world of.
Sorry. Do I have dirt on my face?
I don't speak the nomenclature of botany, so I don't really know.
Well, I'm not a botanist.
Well, you're more than I am. I have a green thumb, but you have more of a green thumb than I do. And you also work in the world of Timmy wants. And
I have
George
an
wants a part of
entourage.
this.
Where I go, they go.
But you're into the apothecarium, that world. You have to learn about plants. You know more about plants than I do in that respect. Oh boy, everybody comes
Kathy.
on. Everybody comes
Hi.
on whenever Lucy gets on. Thank you, Renee and Kathy, for being there, and Hugh Wayne or whoever 1216. Thank you. Love you, love you. Yeah. So in the world of botany,
I don't
Lucy,
know.
you
I
know
got
more than
excited.
I
I
do.
went grocery shopping the other day, and I don't go into Walmart often. Like, as I avoid it as much as possible. But I went into Walmart because they had string lights for the patio that I bought, and one of the strings went out, so I had to go replace it. And so I had to go through the gardening department, and they had currants, like red and black currants, which are hard to find. Sorry, I'm being left on. and and I couldn't resist. So now I had to get dirt, and it's a gorgeous day, like snow-capped mountains, but it's warm out.
She had to do it. This is what she does every year, and she's turned our yard into a complete edible yard. If
Yeah,
there's a
I
anything
ripped out all
happens,
our landscaping and did all edible landscaping. You can do that in Las Vegas, FYI.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, save money and have some good plants. But we don't have to exert that much water like you would think when you do it right. And
No, it's less than what we were using, actually.
and we're not doing it the hydroponic way or anything. We're just your old fashioned. And I say we. I go out there and indulge on the fruits of her labor, all pun intended. Uh, but now you've got the those berries. Not to get in the world of botany, but she went and got this elderberry.
Yeah, that was the other thing they had was elderberry trees.
And if anyone knows anything about elderberries, that's an astringent, quite an acquired taste, one of which, from what we read, there's a lot that goes into trying to make it taste good because of all of the
Well, not taste good.
but the good qualities
It's to make
of it.
it edible.
Yeah,
Because you can't eat it right. Well, you can eat it right off the tree, but you
Is it-
can't eat a lot of
is
it
it like
because
toxic or something?
it's got a little bit of like, yeah.
It'll make you sick if
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
So you have to cook it down, and
So,
then I found out
but
it
the
gets
benefits-
like 15 feet tall. And
the
I don't have room
benefits,
for
the
that.
reason why she was wanting, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is what for all of its
Health benefits.
health benefits.
Yeah.
There you go. And but we couldn't.
Everybody
keep it.
knows elderberry syrup. You get it when you're sick. It helps with you boost your immune
But
system.
you
helps
don't
with
know
coughs.
the plant, right? Because once we got the plant, we're going.
Well, no, I
need
bought
to
the
bring it
plant.
back.
So they had two varieties, and I got one of each. And as I started researching, one of them was better than the other. But at the end of the day, it was way too big. So I found a variety through a nursery, an online nursery that has more of the original elderberry that was used medicinally back in the day. And it's a lot smaller. It's more of a bush, and that's what I'm going to
And
get.
we're doing a lot of berries, and in that I wanted some mulberry because Lucy got this mulberry juice, and I was like, "Have you ever seen Ratatouille?" And in that scene when the food critic, tastes that food and it takes him back to his childhood. In his mind, he had his life flash before him there, and that's what happened to me when I had the mulberry because I was always a child wondering where. Tootsie Rolls or whatever that was that had that flavor, what that was. I could pinpoint some of the others, grape and whatnot, strawberries, but that one was always unique. And I never found out what it was until Lucy recently got some mulberry juice, and I had that ratatouille moment when I drank it. And I went back to my childhood, and I went, this is the flavor. What is this? Mulberry. Okay, let's get a mulberry bush or tree.
No.
And then looked it up, and we're like, okay, no, first off, it may be illegal.
It's not illegal.
But it may
But it's
be,
against
but in
the
some
HOA
states,
regulations.
it may be. I mean, because of the
It's invasive.
What's the word for it though? But it's a very invasive plant, and from the bugs and stuff that they attract, all of this stuff. You guys in customs are laughing at me right now because I don't know my stuff on that, but yeah, we were thinking about that, and that's out of the question.
It's okay. I got plenty. We got plenty of berries.
But I
Still
love
going on.
mulberries still,
Yeah.
and
I think they're
I want more
tired of the
mulberry. They're like,
gardening
yeah, they're
discussion.
going. Please, you said you were going to sing a song, Michael.
This is what I do.
Hey,
I get up really early in the morning.
So now that you've talked about gardening, what's going on with your? And it's a bunch of musical notes.
Yeah.
Flo says,
Yeah,
like the
tell
way
them
she
what's
did
going
that.
on with your music.
Okay.
See, I spend my early mornings in the office booking, and then come like 1 o'clock, I check out because I have to, because I just get irritated, and I go garden or do whatever.
Let me know just while you're here, Lucy. Let me know for you guys if anybody can hear this when I go. If you can hear that, let me know. And while I'm talking at the same time, because last time I got on here with this, it wasn't picking up my guitar while I would speak, which is odd because there's a feature in this that I turned off that is to cut off noise. And what it considered noise in this case was my guitar. And so they would only hear me sing. They wouldn't hear the guitar when isn't that strange how this new software does that? So I had to turn it off. Okay, so people are saying yes, right?
Yeah.
They can hear.
Why don't you play him a song? I'm gonna go put more dirt in my pot before the weather gets cold. Have fun.
Well, while
tell
you're
them what's
out
going
there,
on. Yeah. No. You have fun. Bye, guys. Have fun.
Come on.
No.
No, you're gonna leave me like that? Really? Well, if you guys can hear, we can hear your we can hear you, Michael. One says, Rudy says, "Hey Rudy, how you doing, man? I just spoke to Rudy a moment ago, and here he's online now. That's not creepy. No, Rudy's my dear friend down in Odessa, Texas. Odessa. All right, I promised you some music, so okay, she leaves me like that. Okay. I shouldn't have picked up the guitar so soon, but all right. Now I'm left with my guitar and you guys. It's amazing. It's still in tune. I haven't played this thing in a long time. Ooh, no, it's not in tune. I take that back. Do I know how to play this anymore? Let's see. Yeah, that's what you have to do. Let's see. Oh, that sounds okay. Oh, no, it doesn't. I take that back. Maybe I need some new strings on this guitar, guys. There it is. Oh. So that what you heard me doing there, those are harmonics. So when you're taught to tune it by ear, you hit a harmonic and you tune the harmonics together. And when you do that thing right here, you know, where it's like that, you can hear the two notes and how separate they are by this little oscillation. Who's doing that? What happened there? How'd that happen? Did somebody do that? How did that happen? Somebody said Happy Valentine's Day and sent that? Well, that's cool. I just saw some balloons coming up. I am so ignorant with technology, guys. Okay. Anyway, what am I doing musically right now? I'm trying to rediscover myself. And in doing so, I put the guitar down only in moments where I'm going to make music um, for everyone, like in cases like this. But I don't look at this as an instrument. People who look at it as an instrument mostly are collectors, and they may know a few chords on it. This is a tool. I depend on artisans to make this tool for me so that I'm able to use this tool. This is the way I see it. To use this tool so that it can accompany me when I'm doing my job as an entertainer. Uh, and so I know my job and I know my position as an entertainer as Michael Grimm goes. And this is where people can argue this, and they have, but I remain strong and true to it. Is my job as Michael Grimm as an entertainer is to carry on to the traditional cultural music that I grew up on. And I come from South Mississippi and Louisiana territory, and that music is very unique. A lot of people don't know that music from where I'm from. I introduce a little bit of it to people. Some people have heard it. When you go down to New Orleans, you can hear some of it. So my job is to entertain you by playing songs that you can identify with, and there's no other way that I, as an artist, can give you a song that you will enjoy or be satisfied with, I guess is a better way of putting it, if I don't believe in it myself. So all the songs you hear me doing um, is just my interpretation because I believe the lyrics. So I hold respect to the melody, usually to the artists that have done it before me. I learn mainly from those artists, vocal artists, songwriters, who on the poetry side of it all is a different aspect. There's poetry, and of course there's music, and then the part of that music, what's going on really with the poetry, you have to put melody. People are like, duh, 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 Michael, but when you do all of this, you'll see how difficult that can be. And learning any technique behind it is not the right approach. When I learned how to write songs, it was like going to class in school because I went through the Nashville door. I had a publishing deal in Nashville at the age of 17. And it really wasn't a good experience. I got a weekly salary as a songwriter. Um, but it felt like a job, and I got to work with really great songwriters. In Nashville, they tend to believe that there is a technique, and if you're going to write the Nashville style of country music, there is a specific technique that one must use, and that's what I was taught, and I can explain that later. But as far as techniques go in writing, because I don't really want technique. When I moved out west and I started writing with great songwriters in the West out here. What is that? Oh boy. Okay. Sorry. Didn't know if that needed my attention. I have ADD, by the way, like crazy, believe it or not. Um, when I moved out west with the LA and New York, even the East Coast approach through all of this was, Michael, you don't need all of that technique in writing. That's not what artists do. And then I started to question what the definition is behind being an artist, and it's not an easy thing, but it's to be human. It is to show, in my definition, what I've learned about it is to be human. And what is to be human? That's a good question. That one is not found easily on the internet, by the way, guys. You can do all your research on defining humans, which I'm sure you're doing right now, and you'll come to some definitions, but the real definition is not there, because for at least show me where you can find it. um, to be human really is to, I mean, we can define it emotionally. I tend to believe that emotions can be quite primitive. Um, Not always the best to describe a human. We can see all other animals besides ourselves use some form of emotion. What separates a human from what makes us and the animal um, separate by defining us as a human? And it's a good question. But I think my definition and my answer to that is in art. We are in one aspect in art, we are able to express ourselves in beautiful ways, music, food, and painting, whatnot. And that expression comes from imagination. That's what the artist has to hang on to. I'm starting to dig inside my mind by myself. This is not good in front of people. Okay, Michael, get off of this. Stop being so deep. But this is my mind. This is how I think. The music where I'm from, a lot of people have heard me sing those songs, and I love it. I love where I'm from. I have a feeling my dogs are going to join in on any song here. Let's see. Yeah, we call that a second line groove down home. So they would call that because in New Orleans, I've read and I've heard growing up. I'm just repeating things, guys, by the way, but it sounds good. Second line, it was the funerals in New Orleans. You had the first line were the mourners, and the second line were the ones celebrating the life of the people of the one that the deceased one. Um, and they get a second line groove going like that, right? And they get their handkerchiefs, which they're using for tears. And instead of using them for tears, they get them up in the air and they start waving them around, right? In celebration. And people would join in who didn't even know the deceased, just celebrating life, because it's going to come to an end. And you get a lot of songs down there like, I go, one day. Yes, Shakamofino, I die dead. Say Shakamofino, I go, one day. Yes, Shakamofino, I die dead. Yes, Shakamofino, Now, we have other things down there, like sayings like Tipitinas. We know Tipitina, but there's a lot of chants that we do in the South, out of New Orleans, that I don't even to this day understand, Stuff like Hey Pocky Away, Little bitty boy with a heart of steel. He can't boogie now, but it's just your will, yeah. Feel good music, I've been told. Well, it's good for your body, yeah, and it's good for your soul. So let me do it now, hey, 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 rock your way. Hey, 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 rock your way. All right now. So when you come and see me do my shows, it's usually that I'll represent my home with. There are other songs that I grew up on, though. You kind of have to know down south. I don't sing them out here because nobody really knows them, And you're like, sing some, Mike. Most of them I have forgotten. I need to go back to the. Sorry for all my peeps down home for those traditional songs that we do on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, which are really songs from that region between New Orleans and Mobile, Alabama. That's all the territory I grew up in. And there's a certain music and there's a sound and a smell and a flavor to it down there that is unique. And it is something I'm very proud to be from and anyone from that area, especially all you Farbs, knee cases, Ladners, Quavises, yeah, and your Ladniers. Sorry for the ones in the Moss Point region of the Gulf Coast. Gaucher. Yeah, I've been out west so long now, over 20 years. And yes, I was out here long before I was on the show, 10 years before I was on America's Got Talent. I moved out to Las Vegas around 2000, 2001. I think it was 2001. I think so. No, it was 2000. Eh, anyway, um, yeah, been here ever since. Vegas, Vegas has become my home, and yeah, I would say that most people in Las Vegas are transplants. You know, if not them, their parents were. Because other than if you Native American, of course, there's a Native, but I'm not making fun of that either. I'm saying there is a deep Native, and then they're going, "What about us Mormons over here?" And the Mormon culture goes really deep. You know, they laid the foundation for a lot of what we consider Las Vegas. Um, so, yeah, I really enjoy it out here in the West. It's because I come from the swamps and from a lot of water and no hills. You know, everyone down home knows what I'm talking about. It's just you can't see past the trees in front of you. There's no, and that's a way of life down there, and one people love to live. It's very secluded, and I love that. If you're secluded in that, in the swamps and in the woods of Mississippi and Louisiana, it's great times. All the bayous, you know, and that bayou life is real. It's a culture in itself. They say put the kids to bed, and that in Cajun means fade. They say fade odo, which means put the kids to bed. That means that we're going to have a party. So everybody today goes, well, they're having a fade odo, you know, party. I used to think it was meant party on the bayou, but no, it meant put the kids to bed, and that makes sense. Maybe there's some Cajuns listening right now that can help me with that to confirm that. But yeah, anyway, that's the culture down there, and I love it. But out here in the West, it's just completely different than anything I've ever experienced growing up. I love and respect both areas. You know, thing out here, you get mountains. I've never seen anything like that. The mountains out here, and then the great expanse of desert, and then you could see for 50, 100 miles across. It's like wow. And it for me, it's more breathable that way. It's like, you know, it's like it feels that way until you realize the smog you're taking in, that you're downwind of. But it's nice. I like it. Let's see. Well, Cindy says she likes to hear mine and Lucy's stories. I'm sorry I brought the guitar in so quick. I thought maybe I could catch her to sing a song with me, but no, I did that too soon. I didn't plan that one out. It scared her off. We have to now try to get her back in here. That was the one time I begged her in. I scared her off. Whoops. Anyway, let's see. Should have used the restroom before this. I think out loud too much. It's the only thing I can do while I'm on here because it's like you sit here alone with your thoughts with everyone listening. Like, what is he thinking? Please stop thinking, Michael. Play music. That's what I hear. Okay. All right. Songs where I'm from. There's a song called Jolet Blanc, which I will not attempt doing for you because I do not remember it. And if I did, I'm really not sure I knew the lyrics in the first place. Some old Cajun man taught me how to sing it, but his accent was thick even amongst his own. So, not sure about that. Every time he spoke to me, I had to pretty much judge what he was saying off the, his body language because I couldn't understand a lick of what he was saying. Fun person though to be around. He was a blast, man. Cajuns are fun to be around, but get ready, guys. If you're ever down in Louisiana, I'm telling you, or Mississippi, and you learn they have a French name, try to learn if they're Cajun. A Cajun will be very proud that they're Cajun. They're going to tell you they're Cajun. You tell them if they haven't told you already. And they are fun people. They know how to throw down a party like nobody I've ever seen. And for that, I say if a Cajun ever wants you to go and party with them and you're not ready for that, remember what I said. And if there's any way to prepare yourself, drink a lot of water while you're partying with them. That's all I can say. You're going to have a hell of a hangover. Anyway, they'll drink. I don't know how they take that alcohol level. Oh, here she comes. Here comes Lucy.
I'm not.
What are you doing?
I heard you singing. Sounded good.
Here, sit down. Sit down. Come here. I know you're going back. You can take those home.
Sorry.
Okay. She didn't know. Now, while I have her here, I'm gonna steal her real quick.
I'm not singing.
No,
I'm not warmed up. It's been like a year. No. Sorry, guys.
Well, then at least stay here because somebody wanted to hear some more stories or something. I don't know what's going on with my gigs. Damn it! What are you doing with? Why aren't you out enjoying your life, Lucy? Why are you constantly just working on my career and very little time for what you want to do? Why is this? A lot of people don't really know. I mean, as opposed to like clock in, clock out, daily job.
Well, I don't know. Like 8 years ago, you cornered me and said, "Hey, manage me instead of all these other acts," and that's what ended up happening.
Since you knew a little bit about it, but boy, we've had to learn a lot, haven't we? And it's always a learning experience in this business.
That's right, Gypsy, because I love you.
What? And boy, I'm very thankful for that.
Oh man. But no, it's been a little bit of a challenge this year. Normally, I've got like, as you know, like his schedule's already set like the year prior, and this year because you were in the hospital last year, and I was consumed with that, and then with the hospitals and with the charity benefit and all that, I didn't have time, nor didn't know what was going to happen, so I couldn't book ahead of time. And this year, Vegas has completely changed. Like half the venues are closed. And there were like 2 new venues that popped up. Now they're hiring entertainment from California instead of supporting the local.
And people don't realize what you go through all the time. And some that do know what you're going through go, Michael, you really should appreciate this more often. And they do. And I'm like, yeah. And I need to be reminded because you do wear so many hats. And the one that's most important is the one where you're booking and managing. And what people don't understand about that is that you aren't clocking in and out every day. Every day is another phone call you've got to make or take and hopefully take, because we've got to put, I don't know how you always put up with it and deal with it at your levels, but me, I get on stage and I do my job for that. It's its own thing. It's nowhere near what I want to deal with, what you deal with. And that's why I have hired managers in my life. But you don't deal with the 9-to-5 thing every day. It's not only dealing with me, but you deal with.
I'm way too A-type. I get fired.
Yes,
I've gotten fired. I used to, when I was younger, like in my 20s, I would work for temp agencies or different companies. Um, and what ends up happening is if it's a repetitive job, I find I find where there's problems. And me being a type and being a business owner and entrepreneur early, I'm always like going to the head honcho going, hey, did you know that this is a problem and you may want to fix this? And next thing I know, I'm out because I talk too much. So
So you
the
wind
only
up.
job I've ever held really for an extended period of time was working for Disney and working for SeaWorld.
But what people don't understand is that, and what I would like for you to explain a little bit, and maybe for me more so, because it's a world where you wear so many hats. I'm a one trick pony. I just do my thing. That's this. But you wear so many, and not just managing me, but your own companies aside, and you've had to limit some of those
Yeah.
recently, trying
I
to,
closed my
because you
storefronts.
are an entrepreneur that I respect so much. I put myself around and surrounded by people like this that really are every day don't know where we're going to get our next dollar from, and you make it work somehow. And people don't understand what great links that you have to go to be able to make it work, to pay our bills.
Well, I think it's kind of the same for everybody. It's just
It's
a
a weird
different
life.
mentality because everybody should know, right? Everybody should know how much they need every month to survive based on how they're living. My mentality was always like, okay, how do I want to live? Not how am I living right now? How do I want to live? What does that look like financially? Okay, now what job do I have to get to make the money to have that life? Right? That's always been my
Not the need,
spin.
but the want.
So
Here's the
so
want, but
my
not the need.
mentality just it's always worked that way.
Right.
I've never been the one that goes, okay, I make $600 a week, so I have to go get an apartment that is only $600 a month, and so I can stretch my paycheck. Like, I've never thought in those terms. It's always been like, even when I'm improving the house, I'm going, I want these improvements, and I bring in people to give bids, and they're like, okay, when do you want to start? I'm like, well, not right now, I don't have the money. I wanted to know how much it was going to be so that I
They
could
love that for any
so
of
I
you
could
out
plan
there
ahead,
that
right?
come
And in
to,
2 years
yeah,
maybe.
this is how she works, just so you know.
Like, you know what you want, and if you have a better grasp at how much it costs or what is involved. I'm a planner, so for me, like, it's about, okay, what do I need to do to get there? It's not what do I have and can I afford it. That's never been a mentality, can I afford it. It's how do I get it.
Hmm. And that's the daily
And
life
that's the
of you.
same
That's
for
what, but
you,
that's, yeah. I mean,
because
that's the
I
way it
want to
is.
see you on certain stages. I want to see you in
Oh
certain
yeah, yeah, yeah.
cities and recording with certain people, and it's never been about, well, I hope somebody calls me. It's okay, who do I need to call? What do they need to see? And I'm basically soliciting you as an item to all these different
What was the
places.
name of that movie we watched 2 nights ago that I really liked? And it's rare. I like a movie. I thought it was a
Uh,
comedy. John, what's his name? He's
Wait,
from
self-reliance.
Self Reliance. The actor. He's the writer, director,
Writer, director, and star.
and star of the movie.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't know this until the end of the movie. It's one of those. Was expecting it to be some slapstick sort of comedy. It sort of started out that way. I saved it up for Lucy. I said, "Well, I'm not going to watch this alone, and I'm not going to spoil any of this." But the movie does. If you, what is it called again?
Self-reliance,
Self Reliance. So I need to be
which
self.
echoes like perfectly with me.
But this
Tell me I can't do something, and I'll prove 20 ways you're wrong.
well, this is what the movie is based on. What's his name? The actor?
I don't have my
Self Reliant.
phone.
I gotta say it just so I can at least let him know what movie that.
Has anybody seen it?
He's been in like a sitcom or one of those sitcom sort of shows, like what's the Girl Next Door or whatever the show
He
is.
was
And I really like him. I wish I'd see him in more stuff. I really like this guy.
Jake Johnson. Thank you,
Jake. I
Kathy.
knew it was Johnson. Yeah, Jake Johnson.
Yeah.
The guy's a
What
really
was that show he was
cool
on
actor.
with Zoe
But let me just say this.
Deschanel?
Yeah, that's it. The Girl Next Door, or whatever that's called. If somebody knows, let us know. But that movie, and it really, it it's everything that I was feeling it like through the movie. I'm going, is he writing this about my life? Because I all of a sudden was feeling those moments like, oh no, 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 he's experienced the same experience, and he's doing it in a way where those who may not be able to relate with him clearly can. I can relate with him, but he did it in a way where everybody can relate in the stories. So it's done really nicely, and hats off to Jake Johnson,
Yeah,
right?
they did a great job.
On that,
There's a
Jake
plug.
Johnson, yeah, on that, and I want
Good
to
movie
see
though.
more of him. Yeah, no kidding. He's yeah, that was a good movie. It's a
Yeah.
keeper for me, and that's one that really tells our life. I wanted to bring that back around to. If you watch the movie, you'll see. Just remember that's what Lucy and me and others in the entertainment business. That's sort of the way we feel. That's in every way the way I feel
Yeah.
is the way he portrayed that in the movie. But just going back to that,
The
just
idea is relying on yourself
mm,
to with everybody doubting you, with everybody giving you nothing but negativity, you got to rely on yourself to change your life and change what it is that you want. Meanwhile, being promised things that really on the surface look fabulous, but then when it comes down to it, it's really never what it claims to be, right?
and then when I look at it also in
Like
that
winning the
perspective, I,
show,
I
like
saw
all those things.
just the way it's portrayed, and it feels it's this right, and it puts you in. I guess where I'm going here, it puts you in the perspective of one that's been on a ride, say like me, and that's where I was like, oh, somebody else did this story that identifies with what anyone who at least goes through the entertainment business, through Tinseltown, as we call it. And I know that that's where he's coming from and his experience on this. And I too have experienced Hollywood, the red carpet, the whole Ellen DeGeneres show, who I love, Ellen. Thank you, Ellen. She brought me back on the show a couple times. I didn't ask, I mean, that was nice. Um, for Jake Johnson, I'm sure he's probably hearing that going, I could have used that, I could have been on Ellen and used that. But for some reason, people like me got
Are
on
we for
there.
sure he never went on the show?
I'm not for certain if
Oh.
he did, but we're not going to talk about what he's doing
Well,
in the
anyway,
movie as much.
circling back to the
But
whole
it goes
question.
back into what people think
Yeah.
though about the business and the way they assume that we just get up and we just when we aren't doing anything in front of people's eyes that we we are actually putting feelers out there, and she's throwing me out to do things, and we're trying different things to get work and to keep going. And a lot of people sell themselves out in the process just to make money, and I cannot do that as an artist. So Lucy has to sell the product for what it is, and in today's world it's a little more difficult, a lot more difficult to sell what I sell, the traditional, what I call analog style music
Yeah.
that is
No tracks,
dying
no
out,
effects, no,
yeah, it's
yeah.
no effects, no tracks. Yeah, thank you for defining
Hmm.
that. No digital, none of that. It's all real, it's live. And for those that are hanging on to that or carrying that tradition, I very much respect, and I thank everybody that is there that still respect that keep me hanging on, and those like me that keep things traditional. But it's a rough life. It's not easy. At the end of the day, we do not know what's going to happen day to day, and then there are moments we've had money, and then most of the time we are really broke. We have equity, but we're really broke. And there's no,
I wouldn't
I
say
didn't
we're really broke. I would
look.
say,
No, 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 no. Let's be frank. We are.
okay,
We're really broke. I mean, it's kind of a shame to say, but
this year we're broke.
that's not. We're not asking for handouts. I don't want handouts in life. I want people to just understand that what we do is not secure. We try our best to put something aside, but then all of a sudden we have to use it. And it's for those moments and great moments of economical depression for us, which we have a lot of. And I'm just blessed. And I think God every day. And look, winning that show really was more of a headache for the most part as far as money goes. And I am glad that it's all gone, but people have to understand that there is no more of that. And Michael didn't capitalize on that moment the way one would have expected or said themselves, I would have done that better than he did if I would have done it that way. But
It's easy
you
to
have to
say.
remember, you are not me. And to be me means you would do the same things that I would have done, because to be me means to sing like me, to be able to express things like me, and to that means to think like me, which nobody does. And all of that way that I think, for all of the good that comes out of it, there's the other sides of it where people go, well, I would have done that. Well, not me, because I want to sleep. It's hard enough to sleep at night. And I get where Jake Johnson's coming from.
I think it's easy to say I would have done it differently, but when you're in that position,
Yeah.
you aren't under the same pressure and under the same influences and the same decision
Yeah.
making pressures that you were. And so
And you?
it's always easy, like even when you get in a fight with somebody, right? It's a lot easier later to think up all these different things you coulda shoulda said, but the moment's over, so it's like it's useless to say that. And that's sort of the same thing, is like people can
That
say they
is,
would do it differently, but
you
really if they
really
were
have
in the
to be,
same spot, would
yeah,
they?
no. And I put a lot of people into there. I've made them do that, and they can't imagine even one day in our lives. How do you do it, guys? Well, we don't know. We have no book we go by. There's no training for it. There's no college for this business. I mean, there is in law. You can go into music and then
Theory, yeah.
theory and stuff, but there's no money. Get a master's or so, or
You
doctorate in
can
music.
get a degree, but it's not it's
Yeah,
not it's
it's not
not
going to
real
serve
life
you any good. It's
experience.
just a, hey, look, I got that. Okay, put that on your refrigerator. Sorry for you guys that get masters and stuff and PhDs in music and stuff for me saying that, but they understand
Yeah, I got theater.
that they understand though that there's no that they themselves have to do a lot of what we are talking about to be able to get work. So it doesn't; those things don't benefit
Oh,
for us. It
I went to
doesn't.
college for musical theater, and look at what I do.
And it's not putting anyone down that goes into college for musical theater or any arts at all. I'd say go in and get the knowledge. I look for the knowledge after the fact, because I do understand one thing in the world of art, and that is imagination is far more important than knowledge itself. How do I know that? Einstein said that, and he made me think about that, and it makes a lot of sense. So if I have a good imagination,
What'd you do?
if I keep that
Look at your art.
imagination going,
I'm just saying.
and you do too.
Next time you're gonna have to share some of your art.
But we have to keep the imagination going, and that's what people come to us for. That's my job. It's your job as an entertainer to you know express that, to be imaginative at times, to express creatively into a good solution in life. And that's my outlook. You can either be half full or half empty with your glass. I'm half full, at least right now. Aren't you, baby?
Sure.
I mean, we're good. This is good. I mean, life is good right now for the reason that we're alive.
Yeah,
And
we are that.
that's that. And we got our doggies,
And we're plugging
and
along.
we've got our friends, our dear friends and
Samantha's
family.
inching down the hall towards this room, and then she turns around and
She's-
leaves.
if I could turn the camera, but she's just leaning against the wall, staring at us right now.
It's that baby.
She's so afraid
It's the
of the
freaky
baby. She's afraid. We need to name the baby.
Oh my
We
god.
need to name the baby. Somebody name the baby for me.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, but
Play him a song. I'm gonna go
I'll
finish
play
while I
them
still
on.
have daylight.
Yeah, you say
Nice
play
to
them
see
a
you
song,
guys.
but
I'm gonna got my 2 currants in the ground. Now I gotta go tackle blueberries.
what that?
What?
Okay.
I'm geeking out right now.
All right. You're gonna go get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. Okay. So I'm to sing you home. They said bye, Lucy. Gypsy says bye. She said bye to Gypsy. Okay, let's see. Um, it's okay to spell Lucy's name incorrect as long as we get the phonetic sound out right. A lot of people don't spell it with an IE, so it's not expected. It still pronounces phonetically the same phoneme, as they would say, the same phoneme. Let's see. Oh, Gypsy's Dutch. All right. All right. Dutch. So what? That's Holland, right? I believe. Are you in Holland? Or she goes, yeah, yeah. And a big fan. She says, okay, we're in direct contact right now. And you're all the way in Holland right now. She says, yes, I'm assuming. Okay, all right. Well, she said, yeah. Well, well, you're in the Grimm household right now, speaking to us all the way from Holland. Well, God bless you and thank you. Closest I've been to Holland was on the Dutch side of St. Martin in, in the Caribbeans. So I think they had some of your currency there. Let's see. Would love to go to Holland. That would be nice. Absolutely would be nice. But well, Gypsy, is there possibly something I can sing you home with? Maybe. Gumbo. Okay, you want something very or Gumbo is something off the Gumbo album, I'm assuming, or off that album. You know, I called that album Gumbo, and it has no. People will get confused because there's no songs about Louisiana or anything in it that I recall. What it was a bunch of opposite than that. It was like a gumbo. Gumbo is a mixture of different cultures, and all in a pot. You know, it's a melting pot. Is what I consider gumbo. And in this case, I called it that in honor of all of the songs that I really didn't grow up on but admire. You know, that are outside of New Orleans and Louisiana. A lot of them were songs that I did from a lot of English uh, rock folk singers that were on there. And Gypsy, you have all my albums. Okay. I don't remember what's on a lot of those things. I just, once they're done, I kind of see them down the line and see to the next one, revisiting them on stage if I do once in a while. Let's see. Let's see. All right, I'll original is what I'll do for you, because I can't really put on. I know I did a Van Morrison song. And I can't. She give me love, 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 crazy love. She give me love, 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 crazy love. I'm trying to remember. I can hear her heartbeat from 1,000 miles, and the heavens open every time she smiles. And when I come to her, that's where I belong. I'm running to her like a real song. Yeah. She give me love, 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 crazy love. She give me love, And that's about all I'm going to get to on that one. I do believe that song is on the Gumbo CD. I call them CDs. They're CDs, and now those are out. But those are CDs. Just yeah, I appreciate that. You appreciate it. Thank you. As far as my originals, I don't know. Why am I going there? Anyway, if I can go back to a lot of my originals, I would. I stay away from a lot of them. I need to revisit them. I have this strange relationship with my original songs, and we can go there another day as to why. But once I write a song or I do a piece, I tend to, whether it's collaborated or not, some of them I just tend to let them be a part of that moment. And when I bring them back up, I'm revisiting a lot of those moments, and not only those moments of creating the song, what I was going through, but the moments I was writing about, more importantly. And a lot of reasons why I write songs is to just get whatever is off my chest. In most cases, I cannot write a song that's not believable. The only way I can be believable is to be just that, right from my perspective of truth, from my perspective, guys. These are opinions. These are not facts. These are just my point of view of life. And some of the songs that I write are just, they're about those moments that go deep to me. Oh, let's see. I love Travis Tritt, though, man. I grew up listening to him, along with a lot of great artists. I'll leave you with this one, because right now I think that a lot of people are not taking this opportunity. Guys, I'm about to sound crazy when I say this, but I saw a robot recently at the House of Blues serving people at their tables. This is true. I'm not kidding. This is not a metaphor. This is not an analogy or anything. This is completely true. What I saw was a robot serving people in place of a in place of a server, a human server. And guys, we're here when you're turning down jobs to the younger generations that can be stepping stone jobs for you, if anything. Boy, I see that. And then I saw a robot and at the M Resort when I was leaving in the parking lot as a security. From what I hear, that's a common thing now on the strip. They're using these robots for security. But I saw the waiter robot and it was doing a good job. Just saying. So I'm going to leave it here with this song. It's by Travis Tritt. It goes. All around I hear the sound of money, but I ain't got a nickel to my name. And everywhere I look, I see temptation. She stands on every corner and calls my name. So won't you tell me if you can? 'Cause life's so hard to understand. Why's the rich man busy dancing while the poor man plays the band? Lord, they're billing me or killing me. Lord, have mercy on the working man. Uncle Sam's got his hands in my pocket, and he helps himself each time he needs a dime. Them politicians treat me like a mushroom, 'cause they feed me shit and keep me in the blind. So won't you tell me if you can, 'cause life's so hard to understand. Why's the fat man busy dancing while the thin man plays the band? Lord, they're billing me or killing me. Please, Lord, have mercy on the working man. Please, Lord, have mercy on the working man. Oh, man. And you know what I mean? That means everybody. Lord, have mercy on the working human. Just, Lord, have mercy on all of us, everybody out there working hard. And thank you all for joining for this moment, for whatever it was worth. I hope you had a good time. And thank you to Gypsy. Thanks to everyone. Renee, woohoo, back at you. Kathy, thank you. Cindy, everybody, love you. And I'll see you next Thursday. Same time. Love you guys.